Sisi watu wa Nyandarua tunataka kukuambia
mkutano, hata mkitumwa vijana wakuja na mapanga, hata mkikuja na tear gas, hii watu yote walitoka kwa UDA.
Yes, Dictator Ruto has a scheme of disrupting Rigathi Gachagua's meetings across Kenya. And to be specific, he's doing this in Mountain Kenya so that Rigathi Gachagua's influence can be countered. When Rigathi Gachagua was in NYADARUA, we saw a tear gas canister being thrown at him. And I think this is going to be among the very many attempts when Ruto is trying to counter Gachagua in Mountain Kenya, to be specific. And the purpose of this video, I've come to tell you as to why Ruto is hell-bent in countering Gachagua in Mountain Kenya. Because it points towards disrupting him even more further outside Mountain Kenya. Because we all know, for Gachagua to be president, he needs at least a block vote outside Mountain Kenya. All signs show that Gachagua has a block vote of the mountain. So in this episode, I've come to talk about the continued persecution of Rigathi Gachagua, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the certain materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. So we all know the Kenya Kwanza government thought that by impeaching Rigathi Gachagua, he would go home and sleep, maybe retire. But it turned out to be the contrary. In fact, Rigathi Gachagua is building a revolution, is building a party. And guess who is going to be the biggest casualty? Is UDA, because UDA has almost 47% elected leaders in Mountain. If they revert to Rigathi Gachagua's party, you clearly see that there is something bad for you, for Kenya Kwanza government. But we are continuing to see the disruption of Rigathi Gachagua's meeting. And for me, I think the reason as to why it is this, Ruto is trying to test the waters on how to handle Gachagua. If a person comes in your backyard to disrupt you, it means that there is something. But in fact, I call upon Gachagua to start taking on those disrupting the meeting, either vigorously or harshly, so that it can send a message to the would-be disruptors in his region. You cannot tell me that in Nyanza you can disrupt Raila Amolo Odinga's meeting. It is impossible. Same may be to Kalonzo Musyoka, but it's being done in Mountain Kenya where Gachagua is. So Gachagua must up his stockings to take on these people. Because normally they are 4, 5, 6, 10. Yet Gachagua has the resources to counter them vigorously so that it can send a message to anyone who would wish to disrupt his meetings again. Before I talk about this further, I want to play a tape when a tear gas canister was being thrown at Rigathi Gachagua. Here is the tape.
Sisi watu wa Nyandarua tunataka kukuambia
part of the video when the tear gas canister was lobbied at Gachagua 1. For people who are not rioting, what was the tear gas canister for? They were not protesting, they were seated down. In fact, even if the police wanted to dismantle that gathering, all they do is first come and communicate to the leaders, to the organizers, tell them to go. That was not done. You clearly see that there is a scheme of these people wanting to counter Gachagua, okay, in Central. And they are doing it deliberately to test his powers in Central. And trust me, his influence is continuing to grow. Regarding Gachagua must find a mechanism of dealing with this one actually outside the constitutional realm, because the police is having a deaf ear when these things are happening. In fact, the people in this event took it upon themselves to arrest a police officer who was in civilian's clothing so that they stop these things. In fact, I was happy that even this gathering went on. Let me first play a tape when the police officer in civilian clothing was being arrested. Here is the tape. So in that video, you clearly see that a policeman was in civilian clothing, and when all hell broke loose, the military came in to rescue him. This is the speed the mountaineers must get when it comes to Gachagua. Because for how long will it be when these gatherings are being disrupted in his region, Central Kenya? Rather be it done outside Central Kenya, but in your backyard. That's your strength. Every leader has a strength. You cannot do it. You cannot do that in Nyanza to Raila. Let's continue to see this video. Thank the supporters of Rigathi Gachagua. This is supposed to be the spirit. The police should learn that you cannot counter Gachagua in Mountain Kenya. Either they must be attacked because the Interior Ministry, the police, the army has not even investigated the first attempt in Limuru, where Gachagua was dismantled. Okay? So they must face it rough. At least it would have been done in other regions where Gachagua doesn't have a stronghold. But in Mount Kenya, it is stopped. In fact, I feel very happy that the meeting went on. By the way, very successfully. Everyone was able to speak their mind. You clearly see that Gachagua is going to be a force to reckon up with in the mountain. And I keep on telling people that in politics, nobody in the Kenyan border politic has ever won the mountain. When you go in an election, the side on which the mountain people are is the side which normally comes out as winner. Since independence, Moi was able to rule for 24 years, courtesy of the Kikuyus. That's why he had very many Kikuyu vice presidents. Okay? To an extent that when he was even leaving power, he picked Uhuru Kenyatta then as the president from Mountain Kenya. Kibaki, the same. In fact, there is a time Kibaki went on, Uhuru came into power. They were both, as Kibaki was in government, Uhuru was in the opposition. The same is applying now. Kikuyus are in government, they are the one who brought Ruto to power. They hold the biggest cabinet secretary portfolios. Then Rigathi Gachagua is positioning himself in opposition so that he can take over from Ruto. Okay? So I was happy that the gathering went on. In fact, Rigathi Gachagua cautioned Ruto and he told him these statements. He has the tape.
Hata mkituma vijana wakuja na mapanga, hata mkikuja na tear gas, hii watu yote walitoka kwa UDA. Kule modo tikaleta UDA goko. Wangapi walitoka kwa UDA? Sasa inakuwa ni wakati mnapoteza. Ni wakati mnapoteza. Sisi tuko na kazi ya barabara hapa imesimama. Sisi nao viongozi ya kina Medho na wengine wale ambao ni wazalendo tutaendelea kupigania hizi barabara. Tutaendelea kupigania stima kwa sababu ni haki yetu. Na ni lazima tufanyiwe kazi kwa sababu tunalipa kodi. Siko namna hiyo. Ndetoki jasutiro ira. Magakoro meke.
So that is Gachagua when the gathering went on. In fact, he cautioned people that they left UDA a long time ago. Even Uriamto knows that the mountain is so annoyed. It's the reason as to why he picked very many cabinet secretaries from this region. Okay? So, the people of NYADARUA stood against the intimidation, and this is what the mountain people should do across Rigathi Gachagua's meeting. They must not be disrupted. Okay? They mustn't be disrupted. Rigathi Gachagua should soldier on. Opposition is not mean fit. Once upon a time, Ruto was in the same scenario. But although he's doing even more worse things to Gachagua, which is unfortunate. Okay? So, Rigathi Gachagua is the biggest threat to William Ruto is going to face. Okay? And to me, I think Rigathi Gachagua would be the biggest threat because, at least for Raila, you know that he has a stronghold. So you deal to him at that level. But a person who's taking away almost 47% of your support is the person you fear most. Of course, that's my opinion. Do make comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.